Hi, my name is Elizabeth Bennett. I am currently attending school in Franklin, Illinois. I am a senior, and right now at Franklin we are doing something called Senior Project. Senior Project was built to prepare us better for college so that we would know how to write papers and how to do research. Well, first, like I said, they have you write an 8 to 10 page paper on your topic, and the topic you choose can be pretty much anything you want, but under certain limitations, and it has to be something controversial, something that you can actually argue on your case about. And after the paper, we have to work on our tangible product, which is something like pictures, or you interview someone, or you job shadow, or you write a letter to Congress. Right now, I am doing all of those things. And then after that, we do PowerPoint, which is basically at the end of Senior Project, we present everything we've learned and why we did it and everything to people, teachers, and there's a panel of judges who grade us based on our performance. Well, I chose to do my senior project on mercy killing, or human euthanasia. Mercy killing, under definitions, is the intentional killing of someone for his or her own benefit. You know, instances where what would happen would be if someone had a terminal illness and then they were suffering quite a bit from it, you would have them euthanized to prevent them from suffering. It's also known as death with dignity. Well, I take the stand on being pro mercy killing. I think that if the patient chooses, not the doctors, not the family, but if the patient chooses, then he or she should be allowed to die with dignity. And the only form of euthanasia which I would believe and support would be the form of lethal injection, where a person is put under anesthesia and then administered a toxic level of chemicals which stops their heart and breathing. Other methods such as asphyxiation and overdosing are quite dangerous and oftentimes fail and cause great trauma to the patient. There are cons. Some people don't agree with it because they say it devalues human life. They would be afraid that it would become a form of health care. Doctors would kill patients to save money, which under certain basis and laws, I don't think that would be possible at all, actually. And I have a set of rules that I think that I have researched and would possibly work. All right. If someone requests to be euthanized, they must be dying of an incurable terminal illness that causes severe discomfort or humiliating debilitation. The person who requests mercy killing must be conscious and making competent, voluntary, and well-informed decisions. Only a doctor may authorize and perform mercy killing. The doctor must determine and confirm the patient is terminal, and more than one doctor must review the circumstances. There must be at least 3 verbal requests and 2 written requests from the patient stating that they wish to be euthanized. The family of the patient must be told of the decision before it is carried out, and the patient must be free to change his or her mind at any time. The patient must be informed of every diagnosis, prognosis, and alternative. The patient should be reviewed and counseled for the reasons behind his or her request, and there must be a cool-off period of 7 days to allow the patient to reconsider. After the 7-day period, there must also be a period of 17 days after the request. The method of euthanasia must be under no circumstances be anything other than painless, lethal injection. If and when the act of euthanasia has been performed, wills and contracts cannot be changed or altered on request, and the health division must review records annually. With these specific laws and enlisted and careful monitoring of all actions, mercy killing could become available to those who need it and want it the most. So, Nikki, have you ever been in a situation where you wished you could have let someone pass on peacefully instead of the way they went?
Yes. My uncle, he had cancer for about maybe 7 years. They took a golf ball size lump out of his head, and it went away, and then after that it came back. But I remember last year, it's been a year. Last month it was a year since he passed away. It started getting really bad.
And what were some of his symptoms?
He was throwing up all the time. He could barely walk or move. He was definitely in a lot of pain, and we all knew it, and we didn't want him to suffer. So, and I think that he knew that, but the whole time he never complained. He was very strong. He was very strong. was on the bed, and we were all crying, you know. We told him that it was okay and to go be with my grandma Dvorak. What's ironic was they both passed away on the same day. And
do you sometimes wish you could have saved him from that pain? Would you have had it any other way?
well, I wish that kind of like if he did stick it out for a while, and I'm glad that, you know, things went the way they did. But if he wouldn't have had to suffer as much.
So would you, if the option was available, would you have had him, you know, euthanized if he had chosen to?
I think that it would have been better. Yeah, if he had chosen.
I mean, do you think, how would you have felt watching him die like that versus being the reason that he died quicker? Would you feel noble? Would it make you feel worse, better?
We were all either way, everyone would be upset, you know, that he was passing away, but I think that my family would have not liked to see him suffer, so we would have. But of course it is his decision, but myself and my family, we hated to see him suffer. And like I was saying, it was really ironic that him and my grandma Dvorak suffered, or they both passed away on the same day. And he had cancer for 7 years, and there was a 7-year difference also between the years that they passed away too. So it's really ironic. I think there was something about that. Maybe it shouldn't have been changed. Maybe there was a reason why it happened like that, but it was horrible to see him suffer the way he did.
Can you think of any negatives? I mean, would you have felt guilty about having him die sooner? Let's say in a position where he could not speak for himself, but he was still in pain. Would you have gone without his consent?
You know, I'm really not too sure. I think that wouldn't be my decision. That would probably be one of my aunts or uncle's decisions. And I'm really not too sure what they would pick. I think that they might have actually just let him go. And yes, I would feel guilty. I'm sure we all would feel guilty, thinking that maybe we would all have that hope, thinking that maybe he would, if he wouldn't have been euthanized. I think that's the word you said, euthanized. That he could have healed
through.
Or went through, and we would have always lived with that guilt. But
it's a very good point, and that's not to change so quickly, turn the subject on you. What if you were in that point? Do you think, would you think that it would be appropriate to have people write a will just in case you turn into someone who cannot move, cannot speak, but is in a great deal of pain? Would you have your family have you euthanized, or would you choose to take that route? Or would you go through your entire terminal illness?
Well, you know, I think I'm trying to think of both sides of the situation here. Like, people deserve to live their life, you know, and, you know, let nature take its course. So when you have a terminal illness, you're supposed to deal with it, let it take its course. So, but also, the suffering, I don't think I'd be able to deal with it also. And I would be scared, because people say God's supposed to take your life. God chooses when. You don't choose when your life is up.
Do you think some of the controversy is based around religion, on why people don't agree with mercy killing?
I think a lot of it may have to do with religion, and then people believe in a lot of different things. People have their own opinions. But religion is always a major argument against anything.
Very true, very true. Well, thanks for talking to me, Nikki.
Thank you.